Hey there. So you've probably been hearing the term AI agent thrown around a lot lately. These tools that can supposedly think, reason, and act all on their own. But what are they really? Today we're going to break down exactly what makes them tick and why they're about to completely change how we all get work done.
Just think about this for a second. What if your digital assistant didn't just follow a strict list of commands? What if it could actually understand your goals, think through the steps on its own, and then go and take action for you? That right there, that's the big idea we're diving into.
And this really brings us to a whole new kind of assistant. It's so important to get this. These AI agents aren't just a simple software update. Nope, they're a totally new category of tool built to solve a really basic problem that, let's be honest, pretty much all of us deal with every single day.
We all know the grind, right? Your day just gets eaten alive by these small but totally necessary tasks. Chasing people with follow-up emails, staring at the same kind of report every morning, trying to whip up some designs for a social media post. They're simple tasks, but man, they take up so much time. This is the exact problem agents are here to solve.
Okay, and this right here is the absolute key difference. Standard automation is basically just a script. It follows a very precise set of rules. If this happens, then do that. That's it. But an AI agent, well, it adds this whole other layer of intelligence. It doesn't just blindly follow commands, it actually makes decisions to reach a goal you've given it. That ability to reason, that's the game changer.
So how does it do all that? What is an AI agent actually made of? Let's pop the hood for a minute and break down the anatomy of an agent to see what's really going on inside. So, the formal textbook definition is that an AI agent is a system that can perceive its environment, think, make decisions, and act to achieve a specific goal. But really what it comes down to is this complete loop. It sees what's going on, it thinks about it, and then it does something. That perceive, think, act cycle is what makes it so incredibly powerful. And it turns out, pretty much every agent is built from 5 core building blocks. It always starts with a trigger, which is what kicks the whole thing off. Then you've got the model brain, which does all the thinking. Memory is there to hold on to important context. Tools are what it uses to actually perform actions. And finally, you get an output, the finished thing you wanted. And this is just a brilliant way to think about those parts. You can imagine an agent as its own little super efficient organization. The trigger is like the project manager, saying, here's the new task. The model brain is the strategist, figuring out the absolute best way to tackle it. Memory is the team's shared notebook, keeping track of everything important. The tools are the hands, doing the actual work. And the output? That's the final, polished product delivered right to you.
Okay, so we know the team members. Now let's see how they all come together in a workflow. How do these 5 components actually collaborate to get something done from start to finish? Everything, and I mean everything, kicks off with a trigger. This is the event that tells the agent, all right, it's go time. It could be anything really. A new email landing in your inbox, you dropping a file into a specific folder, or even just you typing in a direct command.
So as soon as that trigger fires, the brain gets to work. This is typically a large language model, like a Gemini or a GPT. It takes in whatever the trigger was, it thinks about it in the context of your main goal, and then it comes up with a step-by-step plan. This is the thinking part of the whole operation.
Once there's a plan, the brain hands off instructions to the tools. This is where the agent stops thinking and starts doing stuff in the real world. It might use one tool to generate some images, another one to fire off an email, or maybe a third to go scrape some data from a website. These are the hands of the agent, getting the job done.
And finally, at the very end of the process, an output is delivered. After all the tools have done their thing, the agent presents you with the finished product. This could be a tidy, summarized report that lands in your email, or maybe 3 new thumbnail designs that are saved directly to your Google Drive, whatever that completed task was.
Okay, that all sounds great in theory, but where is this stuff actually being used today? Let's take a look at some real-world examples of how AI agents are already out there, making a difference.
The applications are just huge. You've got marketing teams using agents to automatically draft blog posts and schedule social media content. Finance teams are setting up agents that summarize all the critical financial reports first thing in the morning. HR can use them to automatically send out personalized welcome messages to new employees. And for creators? Oh yeah, they're using them to design thumbnails and write video descriptions automatically.
So here's the really crucial takeaway. This technology isn't just for massive corporations with huge budgets anymore. It's quickly becoming a personal co-pilot,
something that any one of us can use to design our own little automated helpers. I absolutely love this quote because it just hits the nail on the head. Building an AI agent these days isn't always about writing a ton of complex code. With the tools we have now, it's much more about designing the logic. You get to be the architect of a thinking system, deciding how it should reason and what it should do.
And that brings us to the final question, and this is really a question for you to think about. When you look at your own daily grind, your own to-do list, what's that one repetitive, soul-crushing, time-consuming task you would hand over to an intelligent assistant first? Because the possibilities are just starting to open up.